Hi, it's Mark Graban. Welcome to Lean Blog Audio. This is episode 385. If you're listening to these regularly, you'll realize I messed up the sequence and I had accidentally attached the wrong audio to this episode. So I'm going to try again, move past those mistakes. This is a post from June 21st, 2024, titled, "I'll be speaking, learning, and facilitating at the Global Lean Summit." So you can find a link to all of this that I'm talking about today at leanblog.org/audio 385. I'm very happy to be participating in Jared Thatcher's event, the Lean Global Summit. It's actually the Global Lean Summit. Jared Thatcher's Global Lean Summit event this September in Indiana. I'll be there the whole time to network and to learn, and that includes time being able to visit a Toyota material handling factory an entire day there, which is a great opportunity. I'm going to be speaking and facilitating. I'm doing a workshop on psychological safety as a foundation for continuous improvement. I'm doing a learning session featuring, we'll actually run or play Dr. Deming's Red Bead game. And I'm giving what I think is a fun keynote talk on warning signs and mistake proofing. So you can learn more and register via a link in the blog post. And the rest of this episode is going to be the audio from a 13-minute conversation that I had with Jared Thatcher about his event. So I hope to see you there. You can learn more about registering. I hope you'll sign up and get to Indiana. Now here's Jared. Hi, I'm Mark Graban. Today I'm talking with Jared Thatcher. He's the organizer of the upcoming Global Lean Summit 2024. It's being held in Indiana, September 17th to 19th. You can get tickets following the link that's in the comments or the show notes. You can go to globalleansummit.com to learn more. So Jared, thanks for joining me today. How are you?
Pretty good. Thanks, Mark.
So tell us about the event. I know you had started with some virtual events. You're doing in-person summits, the opportunity to do this. People are wondering why Indiana. Well, I'll just let you answer that question. No offense to Indiana, but you're not from Indiana.
I'm not from Indiana, no. Originally from Oregon. I live up here in Washington right now. It started during COVID. I was feeling really bad. I had a lot of friends that were on the verge of losing their small businesses. And I knew that if they understood some principles with Lean, that they could adjust their processes to really account for customer needs. Because at the time, people were afraid to touch a doorknob because they thought they'd get COVID and die. So, how do you adjust your process to make sure that your customers feel safe when they're coming into your establishment? And the idea came to my mind. It was like, hey, we'll just, do a summit, pull in a bunch of, people and talk about it. And I was like, well, that's a cool idea. But then I was like, I don't know how to do that. And I don't know, really anybody to do it with. And then the idea for about a week and a half just wouldn't go away. And it was like, finally, it's like, okay, well, maybe I should do it. And if I don't set a date, it's not going to happen. So I said, okay, I'm going to do this in 6 weeks. I'm not quite sure why I did that, but I ended up having to learn how to build a website, how to, I do things with Zoom, reaching out to a bunch of authors and different people that I've always looked up to and the work that they've done, and surprisingly they all said yes, and it was awesome. So we put on this free event. We had about 500 people that showed up, and that kind of kicked it off. And I don't know, 6 months later, I had some of the speakers start calling me, asking me for advice because I was posting on LinkedIn about doing virtual Lean summits, I was posting about doing virtual Kaizen events, and how are you doing that? What is that? And so I explained and showed them how I was doing that. And then I had a bunch of the attendees say, hey, when's the next one? I was like, next one? I mean, you're lucky to get this one. And so, that started it. So for the next couple of years, I've been doing, these virtual Lean summits. It's just a free event that I put on so people, can attend. And, it's grown. Last time I did it, we had 3,600 people from around the world. So it was, it wasn't too bad.
That's huge.
Yeah. And what happened was last year I had one of the attendees say, hey, if you do this, I'll bring my entire company and we'll check it out, and but I want to do it live. I don't want to do it virtual. Okay, fair enough. Let's do it. So I put it on here locally, and we had a decent turnout. Probably lost a little bit of money putting it on, but that's okay. It was it was great to actually have that live interaction.
Yeah.
And but then I was also like, I'm done with the live events. I think virtual's a heck of a lot easier. And my wife's like, no, that was amazing. You got to do it. And I was like, okay, well, I've got a full-time job. I don't have time for this. And she's like, I'm going to run it. So, okay. So a little while later, she comes up and says, all right, so I was talking with some of our contacts, and I've got to set up where Toyota Material Handling Plant in Columbus, Indiana, is going to host us for one of the days of the summit.
Wow.
They come on as a partner, and they'd love to host us. I was like, wow, that's so much better than what I did. That's great. And so my wife has really been behind the scenes, running everything, making sure the event's going to go off without a hitch. And my job was just really going out and getting incredible speakers like yourself and others to come on board, and it's going to be fantastic because we're going to be talking about how to really create a culture of lean improvement. And day one is going to be what are those elements that you have to have, and what are those obstacles, and how do you overcome those. Day two is actually going and spending an entire day at Toyota. Being able to check out their, Obeya room, check out their learning dojo, their training dojo, getting tours of the plant, talking to a lot of the, the executives at the company, as well as some of the support staff and the first frontline people. So it's going to give us that opportunity to really see, we all look to Toyota, right? Is that shining example on the hill. And so it's going to give us that opportunity to really see how they do things. And their manufacturing plant there in Columbus is just absolutely amazing. I've had a chance to go there a couple of times, and it's been great. So really looking forward to it.
Yeah. Well, and it's a great opportunity compared to the Toyota automotive tours that I've done before in San Antonio and Kentucky, the U.S. tours anyway. And you're driven through on a tram. You can see some things. You're there for maybe an hour and a half if you take in the visitor center. So I'm really excited, to think of this opportunity of spending a whole day there, getting to see things that they wouldn't normally show, it seems, on a public tour, having more time to take that in and interact with people. So I'm happy that Toyota's not just letting us in, but partnering with you. That's really exciting.
Yeah, no, it really is. And it's going to be fantastic. So at that plant, they make forklifts. And I had no idea that they're the number one producer of forklifts, which makes sense, right? And it's fantastic just to see how they do it, and the technologies that they've incorporated in for forklifts, so that they have anti-tilt features, so that reduces the risk of them tipping over. They've got some really cool things that they've incorporated and done. So it's going to be a fantastic tour. And then, of course, the third day, what's exciting is we're going to have some examples from some other companies. So we've got right now a bunch of companies that we're planning on having in. So Costco, Amazon, Cost Tailored, they're local here. It looks like they're going to be coming as well. And then we also have the U.S. Postal Service that's going to be talking about their lean management system, and a company that has turned around their organization is coming out of Germany. That's Hoof Automotive, or the Hoof Group, and they make pretty much all the automatic door openers and the key fobs for all of the manufacturers around the world. And so it's going to be interesting seeing how they transform their organization. And at the end of the day, we're going to be doing a workshop with everybody, talking about how to improve or how to create your own lean management system, and basically creating a roadmap of what do we need to do when we get back to our organization to really start taking it to the next level and to overcome some of the challenges that we're facing. So it's going to be a great collaborative session, and really looking forward to creating that roadmap with everybody.
Yeah, and thank you for the invitation to do 2 different sessions. So I'll encourage people come early for the pre-conference workshops. I'm doing a half-day workshop on psychological safety as the basis of lean learning. So I think in a half day we'll be able to take a good deep dive into that, have some better understanding of what psychological safety is, what it isn't. Because as with let's say even the phrase lean or different lean concepts. Sometimes there are misperceptions, misunderstandings, and help people go back and be equipped to, I think, strengthen their continuous improvement or lean efforts, with that understanding of psychological safety and some tactics leaders can use to help strengthen psychological safety. And then I'm doing a 30-minute keynote talk on warning signs. It's a fun talk. I did it at the KaiNexus user conference as maybe even for a lot of people, it's just a fun reminder that sometimes maybe we try to rely on a warning sign as a countermeasure, and we can challenge ourselves to really make sure we have some better mistake proofing in place. So that's what I'm going to be sharing and talking about, and hopefully good takeaways for people.
No, I'm super excited about it. We have a great lineup of speakers and people from around the world. We've got people coming in from Europe, across North America, Asia. So it's looking to be a really good event. But of course, because of the restrictions of the tours and the number of people that we can bring in, we're limited to 120 at the event itself. So. It's filling up fast, and I think what do we have now? About 75 days left before it's here. So it's coming up quick, and I'm really excited. This is going to be a great event, and amazing people coming, and some great companies, and it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, and I'm excited, and it's a great lineup, but Hide Oba is going to be part of the event. I've interacted with him online, interviewed him on my Lean podcast about 3 years ago. He's the son of the legendary, people usually just say Mr. Oba, Hajime Oba, from Toyota. So it'll be great to meet him in person and hear more of his insights. I always appreciate it. He shares a lot on LinkedIn. And kind of follows in his father's footsteps.
Yeah, and he gives a lot of great context for a lot of the terms, a lot of the Japanese words. It's funny, every once in a while somebody will post something and he'll be like, I don't know how you get that out of, as a Japanese person, I don't get that meaning out of it, but interesting. But he has a lot of great insights. Really looking forward to him being there. It's actually kind of cool. Tom Jackson, for those.
I know Tom.
Yeah, and Tom has he's come out of retirement for this, so he's super excited. And he's done a lot on how to create a lean management system, and he's done a lot of things in healthcare as well. Talking about Hoshin Kanri. In fact, I think that's going to be one of his sessions that he's talking about for the workshop, the pre-summit workshop. I'm going to be talking about how to utilize the situational leadership model in lean leadership, and what that looks like, and how to employ it and teach it to your people. So, there's some really cool sessions that we have. A lot of really cool opportunities. Looking to record, some, hopefully all of the sessions, so that they'll be available to people to watch afterwards as well. So it's going to be a great event.
Yeah, I'm looking at the list of workshop facilitators. Almost all of them have been a guest on my Lean podcast. John Dyer, Adam Lawrence, Mohammed Saleh, Sam Yankelevich is going to be a guest coming up soon. Sam McPherson. I've met Tom Jackson a long time ago. Maybe I can convince him to come out of retirement again.
And, I think he'd love to
on the podcast. So a lot of great opportunities. Other speakers, Tracy O'Rourke, other people I know there, Hide Oba. So a great list there. So sounds like call it an intimate event. 120 people with this great tour opportunity, the workshops, the networking. I'm really looking forward to it. So again, that is September. The main days are September 18th and 19th, but don't miss out on those workshops. It's a separate registration ticket option for September 17th. Columbus, Indiana. People would fly into Indianapolis. Is that right?
So it's going to be at Edinburgh, which is right next to Columbus, and it's about 45 minutes south of the airport, south of Indianapolis. So it's actually Monday the 16th is the pre-summit workshops, and then 17th, 18th, and 19th is the summit itself. So it's 3 days. plus if you want to come for the workshops, and that's a pretty reasonable price too. It's just $400 extra to come for some all-day workshops or half-day workshops. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, looking forward to that. So again, we've been joined, Jared Thatcher, talking about the Global Lean Summit 2024. Thanks again for the invitation. Thank you for joining me here to talk about it a little bit today.
Appreciate it. It's been great.
Thanks.